Hi guys, it's Junior from Switch, and I'm here to bring you a special video about my fan sign experience with KNK in Korea. I did this video to commemorate our 100 subscribers on YouTube on our channel, so
thank you very much.
So 2 months ago I went to KNK's fan signing and it was just a really good experience and I want to share it with everybody. But first I wanted to apologize for how late this video is. It happened during the end of the semester and it was just such a busy time, but now that it's winter break I can finally do it, so let's get started. So actually finding out about the fan sign. Actually it happened to be pure luck that I stumbled upon the fan sign event information because I was just randomly looking through their Daum Fan Cafe and I looked at their schedule and I just realized on the week that I looked they were starting their fan signs for their Comeback U. But unfortunately I was sad to know that for the week that I looked on, the fan signs were already over, so I was like... But thankfully a few hours later they updated their schedule and I found out that they would hold more fan signs the next week, so I figured I had to go to it. So as soon as I could, I went to the store, I bought albums, and I just crossed my fingers. On the deadline day, I found out that I had gotten in. Usually I have horrible luck with lotteries and anything with chance, so I was really thankful that I got a spot. So the fan sign was held in a small auditorium style room and there were 100 fans that were chosen. There was a main table where they would actually sit and there were mats in front of it, and that's where the fans would kneel in front of them. Not all groups have the fans kneel in front of them, like some of the events you can stand instead, but just a note of caution that you might have to kneel. And this is how the fan sign area looked like. So when I went to the event, I only brought one album, which they would sign, and I also brought sticky notes. The sticky notes are good because you can use them to mark which page you want the member to sign, so they don't have to keep flipping through the book or anything, and it's much easier. And you can also write questions that you want them to answer on it, so you can save it. The lady who was maintaining the line also gave me another sticky note, and this one would have my name, so it would be placed on the album, and when I was in the line with Kunukun, they could easily find my name and write it on the album to make things much easier. And I also happened to be the only fanboy there, so it's kinda, yeah. First in line was my bias Z-Jun. Honestly, I was kinda bummed that he was first because he's my bias and I wasn't ready to like, I wasn't adjusted to having a time limit for each member, so I felt like I fumbled with my words the most, and I felt like I couldn't really convey what I wanted to say to him mostly, but all in all it was very awesome. So originally I was planning to bring a Pokemon and talk to him about it because we're both really big fans of it. So first I was explaining that I think we have similar personalities because we both like Pokemon, and after he asked, "What do you like?" I guess he didn't hear me or anything, and I was kind of like confused. I was like, "Huh?" And he's like, "What do you like?" So I said, Gobuki, which is Squirtle in Korean. But I guess maybe my pronunciation sounded like the actual word for turtle in Korean, so it might have sounded like I just said I like turtles. So he kind of just laughed and he was like, "Oh, really?" Yeah, it was kind of a fail. Anyway, I told him, "I can't believe I'm in front of you right now." And then he just reached forward and grabbed my hand and he's like, "Why?" And that's when I kind of broke down and I'm just like... I died, pretty much. I had a moment. And at this point, my time was running out to talk to him, so my words are coming out even faster now, and I bet I sounded very rushed and stupid. Oh, but can't help it, you know. So actually, prior to coming to the fan sign, I posted a cover of Switch's Knock on the community on the Daum Fan Cafe. So I told him if he could watch it, and right before I had to move on to the next member, he said, "I'll watch it," so I really hoped he did. Okay, so second in line was actually my second favorite, Inseong. And just like in the V-Live apps and my Kunukun television, he was really happy and upbeat and kind of cool, pretty much. When he was signing my album, he asked, "Am I Hyung?" but I didn't really understand him at first, so I was like, what? And he said, am I Hyung? And I was like, oh, yes, yes. And actually, when we were talking, I asked if he could speak in English a little, and we actually had a little conversation, so you can hear it right here.
I'm very handsome.
예,
handsome
인정하겠습니다.
You handsome.
아,
You and me same.
수준이 아나운서.
So after Inseong was Yugeun. Yugeun was really nice, kind of quiet, but still nice. And I have to admit that he is actually better looking in person. So when I was talking to him, I mentioned that I'm from Moe and that Kunakun should go too, and he said that he really wanted to go. So whenever you have a vacation, just go there. And when I was talking to him, I mentioned that Kyungi really likes him and that he's her bias. And I asked him to write a message in my album, which he did. So when I showed it to her, she died. So yeah. Doesn't that just make me the most nicest friend ever? Okay, so next was Jihoon. Jihoon was surprisingly like a lot calmer than I thought, but he also giggled a lot. Once again, like what I did with Yugeun, I asked him if he could come to Hawaii in the future for a vacation or something, and I also mentioned that Aiza really likes him and that's his bias. So once again, I also asked for Jihoon to write him a message, and he wrote something, and when he was trying to spell his name, he had trouble with the Z part because he wrote a G, and I looked at it, I'm like, oh, not G, Z, and he's like, G? And I felt kind of stupid because I was like, oh wait, I forgot Koreans don't have a Z in their alphabet, so of course it was difficult. So anyway, Jihoon just said he made a line, and he's just like, oh, just write his name later. So I was like, oh, okay. Last but not least was the maknae Heejun. He was actually a really funny person. So when I went in front of him, I said, I can't believe I'm in front of you right now. And he jokingly replied, I can't believe it either. So once again, being a very nice friend, I asked him to write a message for Kiana, which he did, which I really appreciated too, and she appreciated it as well. He also complimented me on my Korean, which I found hilarious because during this whole event, I was just messing up and I failed so much, and it must have sounded really stupid, but you know, just hearing that, I was like, oh my god, but he's really funny. Actually, our conversation seemed a bit short, so it kind of got awkward because later on he was just like, okay, bye, and I kind of just stood there like, that was kind of fast. So in Korean, I asked, can I touch you? But I meant to say like, can I have a handshake or something? So he kind of just stood there like this. So I just gave him a high five. See, when I talked about failing in Korean, I just did it again. But in the end, I wished him Merry Christmas because it was around that time, and yeah. So all in all, I really enjoyed the experience. Initially, I felt that it was really quick and that I made such a fool of myself in Korean, but it's all a learning experience, so yeah. And since it was Christmas time, I actually gave Inseong and Z-Jun Christmas cards. And on Z-Jun's card, I actually put a Squirtle sticker. So I hope that when he sees it, or if he sees it, that he realizes that I was talking about the Pokemon and not the actual turtle. Anyway, I wanted to thank you guys for helping us reach 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions about the fan sign, anything about fan signs in general, or just anything you want that you're curious about, just leave a comment down below. So thank you guys for watching my video, and I'll see you later. Look forward to our new content. Bye.
어쩌면 너보다 내가 너를 많이